Marco Rubio was asked today what he thinks of the migration stance of Pope Leo XIV and how it squares with the Trump administration's policies.
The Pope is not a political figure. I know he's covered like one, but they're not. They're the earthly head of the Roman Catholic Church. And the Church has strong social doctrine teachings, and I think there is not incompatibility. We too are compassionate towards migrants. I would argue there's nothing compassionate about mass migration. There's nothing compassionate about open borders that allows people to be trafficked here.
In a high-stakes hearing, the Supreme Court heard oral arguments on whether a single district court judge has the power to block a policy across the country. The case stems from the executive order President Donald Trump issued on his first day in office. The EO would deny citizenship to children born on U.S. soil to parents who are in the country illegally or temporarily. A series of nationwide injunctions blocked the plan as soon as it was announced back in January. Listen to this exchange today between Solicitor General John Sauer and Justice Sonia Sotomayor.
Respectfully, I think what we have are lower courts making snap judgments on the merits that ignore the fundamental principle of the 14th Amendment, that it was about giving citizenship to the children of slaves, not to the children of illegal immigrants who really were not even a very discreet class at that time. And that's the sort of argument that deserves proclamation.
Congress who argued against the 13th Amendment just because of that. Some people who argued against passing the amendment just because of that, because it would give citizenship to gypsies.
I think the relevant history of the 14th Amendment is the statements of Senator Trumbull, who emphasized that domicile was the key criterion. He said that in a letter to Andrew Jackson. We've cited in our Ninth Circuit briefing a host of decisions that back that up.
Rejected repeatedly.
Okay, so let's discuss this with Thomas Berry. He is the director of the Cato Institute's Robert A. Levy Center for Constitutional Studies and editor-in-chief of the Cato Supreme Court Review. Thank you, sir, very much for joining us. How do you see this going right out of the gate?
Very hard to predict because justices on both the left and the right at various times have criticized so-called nationwide or universal injunctions issued by a single district court judge. There's not a clear partisan valence to this case. I think all of the justices see the downsides to this. They see how it causes cases to be rushed up to the Supreme Court when a policy is blocked nationwide. But certainly the more liberal justices were also very concerned about this particular policy. And I think they're more sympathetic to a nationwide injunction, at least in this case, where in the view of some justices like Sotomayor, this action is not just unconstitutional, but obviously unconstitutional. I think it'll come down to the usual swing votes. Chief Justice Roberts and Justice Amy Coney Barrett are the two most important and hardest to guess.
Well, it's a fascinating case for sure. Strong arguments to be made. For our audience, please explain. It's not really about the birthright citizenship. It's about whether individual judges can issue these rulings that impact the entire nation, correct? Or am I wrong?
That's right. We're not yet at the merits of the constitutional question. The only issue that justices are considering right now is what's going to be the status quo as the case is litigating. Can a single district court judge, one of about 600 across the country, block a policy across all 300 plus million Americans, or can they only block it with respect to the particular people who brought the lawsuit, the people named in the case caption? That's the issue here, and it would obviously have big consequences for those people who are not part of this lawsuit, but who could be affected by the policy while the case is being litigated.
And a decision expected, I believe, in June or July. Does this have the ability to set a precedent going forward?
It very much could. That's the biggest open question. Will the justices go narrow and only decide it with respect to this case, or will they go big and decide going forward whether judges can ever issue nationwide injunctions? It's possible they could put an end to it permanently, and that would have unpredictable effects, but it would change the way cases are litigated against both Republican and Democratic presidents.
And last question, where else, I know you don't have your crystal ball here, and it looks like this could be close, but is there one compelling argument from either side that you think will put this over the victory line for either side?
For me, I think the biggest issue that the justices are worried about is the chaos and the rushed nature of nationwide injunctions. The fact that it essentially forces the Supreme Court to take the case in a very fast manner because the district court kind of pushes the issue. So if I had to guess, I would think that they're going to put an end to nationwide injunctions and say, no, we're going to let each district just handle the particular people who brought that case, give more courts a chance to come to different conclusions until it comes up to the Supreme Court.
We are now out of time. Thomas Berry, thank you very much for your insights and legal expertise. We appreciate it. Have a good day. We'll see you later.
Thanks very much for having me.
Okay.